Hey guys, it's Annie, Creative.Cliche. In today's makeup transformation, I'm going to be transforming myself into the character Boo from Monsters, Inc. So I really wanted to do her in the monster suit because I feel like that's just like a very iconic version of her. So I hope that you guys like it. It definitely took me like 8 hours, so I hope that you love it. Also, I am starting another round of the 100 Days of Makeup Challenge over on Instagram if you guys want to follow me over there as well. So if you don't know what that challenge is, it's literally posting a different makeup look every single day for 100 days straight. So yeah, I'll have it linked right up here for you guys. And also, I post videos on here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you guys are interested in subscribing, you can also like this video. That helps me out a lot. And my hair is in my way. And yeah, so if you guys want to see me transform myself into Boo, then keep watching. I always start these looks off with a toner to make sure that my face is nice and hydrated. Then I'm just going right in with a glue stick while my brows are still a little damp. The moisture from the toner really helps to thin out the glue, and this just allows you to pile on the layers without it getting all clumpy and flaky. Now it's time to start mapping out the character. I always use eyeshadow for this step because it's super easy to wipe away if you make a mistake. Now I'm just looking like an idiot right here while I try to decide whether I should use my own mouth or if I should just paint one on. So I don't know. I couldn't decide whether I could pull off the little kid smile without looking too creepy, but I think the creep factor kind of adds to it, so I might just go with that. I realized that I should probably do my foundation real quick just to make things easier, especially since this character is made entirely of shading. I'm just setting that foundation with some powder, and I'm concealing my eyebrows with this cream paint by Ben Nye. This is just like the beige color, it almost looks like a concealer color. And I'm just going over that with some powder again, just to make sure that everything's completely blocked out. Now we're back to the facial features. Boo's nose is about half the size of mine. She has one of those cute little button noses. So I'm just roughly sculpting out the new shape of hers, and then I'm moving on to the mouth. Once I decide that I'm going to use my mouth as hers, I just need to make a few adjustments to make it look like hers. So in the reference photo, she has a shadow under her chin, and then the tip of her top lip area is lighter. So I'm just going to pop that forward using a cream paint. So I'm just adding in those details, some smile lines, and giving myself more of a pinky tinted lip using a liquid lipstick. I wanted to get the other facial features mapped out so that I can just put all my focus into her eyes. I feel like Boo's eyes are iconic, you just know it. So if you can nail the eyes, you pretty much got the character down. Like I said earlier, when it comes to characters that are completely made out of shading, you're going to want to go in with base colors first, so I'm just painting in the whites of her eyes real quick, and I'm adding those eyelid creases. The details that really make a Pixar character are just shading and highlighting. It's probably about 80% of the character. For all of my highlighting, I'm going in and using a light beige cream paint mixed with a white cream paint. And these are both by Ben Nye. To rosy up her cheeks a little bit, I'm going in with a pink eyeshadow, and then it's back to working on the eyes. I'm using dark brown paint for her iris, I'm drawing on her pupils, adding some face shading in there, and then it's back to the eyes again. To add a little dimension around her eyes, I'm going in with this ink liner just to add it to the waterline areas, and then I'm adding both her top lashes and her bottom lashes. To give the iris more depth, I went in with a beige cream paint just to give it a little color variation, and then I went in with a white cream paint to add that highlight. These brows were so tough to do on top of my eyelids. The first one went on pretty well, but I'm telling you, this second one, I feel like I did at least 10 different attempts, and then I wound up wiping it off completely and then doing it again. And then I wound up just covering them basically with the costume in the end. So that was worth it. To make sure that the eyes don't fall flat, I'm just going in and adding some shading around the edges just to give it that 3D effect. For the hair, I'm starting out by roughly mapping it out with eyeshadow, and then I'm topping it off with a dark brown paint. I don't want this to come up too high, that's why I'm only doing like this one section, because the costume's just gonna be glued to the top of my head anyway right there, so I don't have to worry about that. More shading and contouring. What else is new? Still practicing that creepy smile to make sure that I can make it work, and then we're on to creating the costume. As you guys know, I use cardstock paper for this, and I'm just holding it up to the area so that I can sketch it freehand. And then I'm just gonna put it to the side for now so that I can start working on her body. I'm grabbing some purple paint to resemble her monster suit, and then I'm just painting the sides of it to give it some of that depth. Here, I'm adding those creases, I'm shading it in, adding some of those scales here and there, just to make it feel like the whole thing has scales, but like, I'm not gonna like go in and paint every scale individually or else we'd be here forever. So you gotta be a little creative. Now I'm gluing on this headpiece that I wound up taking off because it was flopping forward anyway. I really should have waited towards the end to do this, but I didn't, so whatever. I'm making up these paper pieces to round off like the sides of my head a little bit more, and I'm just gonna tuck those back to make sure that they glue down properly against my skin, and then I'm just gonna prop them up in about a minute. I realized that in order to make the rest of the headpiece, I needed that top piece glued back on just so that I can map out around it, so I'm gluing it back on. Oh, and I'm using spirit gum to attach all these pieces. I don't think I said that. I'm adding a highlight around the bottom of my chin just to round it off a little more, and then I'm adding those paper pieces to build up her hair just at the top there. It just like, I realized that it was like kind of looking weird, like it wasn't like round at all, so I'm just rounding it off. Then off camera, I drew up the inner part of the hood that leads into the neck area, so I'm just painting my neck to match that like paper piece there, like the lining, and then I'm trimming it to match the top of the headpiece, if that makes sense. Now it's on to the final touches. I'm just adding my tentacle arms, I'm plugging up my nose, fading the rest of my body into the background, and I'm just re-gluing this side piece because it just keeps coming unstuck, which is really annoying. And that's the finished look, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you liked it, make sure to give me a thumbs up. That really helps me out. You can also subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay creative.